Greetings and welcome back to another HuGo tutorial. Today we're going to learn all about how to create a shift pattern for your roster and then how to import that shift pattern into your current roster. So first, from our main dashboard, we're going to come down here to the rostering tab on our sidebar menu, and we're going to choose our participant for the shift pattern that we're going to create. For this instance, let's go down here with Zane, and from his options, we'll click the shift pattern button. We then can come and create different shift pattern names. And so for this one, we are going to do January test 2026. You can name it whatever you'd like. After we've created it, his shift pattern will appear. A couple of things that we see here. One is the option to create a 1 week or 2 week pattern. For today, let's just do it by 1 week. The next thing that we see is all of the available support workers who are assigned to work with that particular participant, Zane in this instance. If you think that you're missing a support worker from the list that you see here, that could be from a couple of reasons. One, that support worker is not currently assigned to that participant, which you would need to do from the employee's passport page. Or you may have an employee who's assigned to that participant, but they are not compliant to currently be working with that participant. They may have some compliance forms that are out of date. So I would ensure that you check that the support worker's passport and information is all up to date and able to work with that participant. However, we do not need to be adding support workers to a participant's shift pattern. It's only if we wanted to add those people individually would we see that. So let's come here first, and we're going to start adding in the shift patterns. We can either fill those in with a support worker, or we can leave them unfilled. So let's say for Mondays in this pattern, we don't know if a worker is going to be available for those shifts. Maybe the same thing for Tuesday. We're just going to add those in, and we will assign the support worker at a different date. However, we know that on Wednesdays, Reed can work in the morning, Ken can work in the afternoon, and Reed can do the passive shifts on those Wednesday nights. Then for the Thursday, we don't have anyone for the morning, but Reed again can do the afternoon and the passive. On Friday, we're going to have those shifts unfilled, which means we don't select a name. Unfilled. Saturday, Ken can work again. Reed can work again and do the passive. Sunday, Ken, Reed, and Reed. So just remember that this is only building the pattern. It's not making anything live yet. So once that's done, it is auto-saving. So that January test 2026 pattern for 1 week has been currently created based on the schedule you just created. So if I clicked on another tab and then went back into it, everything is saved. So the next thing that I want to do is come back to Zane's roster, and based on the time window that's selected here, I'm going to go to the next 2 week window after my current view. And because I'm building just 1 week from that pattern I've created, we're going to do it from the 2nd through the 8th. I'm going to import my shifts from February 2nd through the 8th, confirm the date, and what am I going to import? I'm going to import that January test that we just created. It's just going to ask us if I want to confirm, and it would delete any other roster shifts that have been put in for that window. So now that the imported shifts are overriding that, And once I click confirm, I will now see the pattern I have just input into that time window. You see these white rosters. That means that the shift has not been published yet. So if I wanted to make some last minute changes, I still could. But if I'm ready to roll with this shift and allow staff to request the unfilled shifts for themselves, we're going to publish that shift. And now I can go back for that time window that I have allocated from now the 2nd through the 8th and see all of those shifts that have either been assigned or identified as unfilled, ready to go, and for support workers to be able to action those shifts accordingly. Thanks for watching, and feel free to reach out if there's any questions. Have a great day.